Welcome to the Mouth That Roared. Free speech, real opinions, and more exclusively on Podbean.com. Check out the video version of this show. I like to call it Chris C TV, exclusively on YouTube and Facebook. And now, without further ado, here is the host of the Mouth That Roared, me, Chris Sheehan. Hello everybody, and welcome to today's edition of the Mouth That Roared, exclusively on Podbean.com. Now, this is part one of a two-part video that I will be uploading next Monday, for part two, obviously. And what I want to talk today about is Kavanaugh, the guy who, I don't even know his first name, Brett Kavanaugh, that's his first name. I want to talk about this whole investigation and everything that just, it really is worrisome, honestly, because I feel as if this guy, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Republican, I'm saying this because I believe him. I think that he's telling the truth. I think that he never touched or did anything to anybody. And I have to admit this, while I am on the subject of telling the truth, I have to admit that I think that this accuser of his, Christine Ford, I think she's a bitch, honestly. I think she's a lying bitch, and I think it's not just her fault. I think she's also being put up to it by certain members of the Democratic Party. And that's another thing, too, the Democrats, which, you know, I mean, if people weren't afraid of them already, I mean, you should be now, because, I mean, they actually, what amazes me the most is that they actually got basically what they want, you know? They were able to get this whole investigation underway. They wanted the FBI investigation to take place, and, you know, they refused to vote without having a proper FBI investigation. Now, I have to say this about the FBI and about the Democrats. I have to say that the FBI, in my opinion, just wastes more money. It solves nothing, you know. It doesn't. They're not going to investigate. They're only going to investigate to a certain point before they find zero evidence, you know. And it really is a pain in the ass, because many of these people in the Democratic Party are acting as if they're a bunch of babies. I mean, let's face it. The guy that, well, Kavanaugh, I mean, to be accused of what he was accused of, and then not even have the right to a fair trial, so to speak. I mean, the guy, he can't say what he wants. I mean, everybody is twisting his words around. And, you know, in all honesty, I think people need to say what they want to say without having their words twisted around and making it sound like they said things that they didn't. And I think also with that, the media is partly to blame for that. Well, really all to blame. But I think certain members also of certain political parties, for example, the Democratic Party, which for many of the people that voted, like, for example, Cory Booker and, you know, really a few of those people, all should be ashamed of themselves, the way that they were acting as if they were a bunch of little kids. I mean, they refused to vote, they refused to participate in anything. And in all honesty, I just think it's sickening. And you know, with that being said, I think he's telling the truth. I think, you know, I do not believe a word that comes out of this woman's mouth. I think, you know, maybe it's possible that she was molested or whatever by somebody else. You know, I just, there's something about her that I do not believe. I read something on Facebook too, in which it said that she was not even registered. Now, she's a psychologist, I believe, in California, and she wasn't even registered under the California license, I guess you could call it. Whatever that is, I don't know. Whatever it takes to be a psychologist, apparently she was not registered. So right then and there, to me, that throws up a red flag, as if, is this woman legit? You know, I mean, if her name is not even going through the computers and all the proper way, does she actually have any proof that this happened? You understand what I'm saying? That's what I want to get at. I want to get to the truth. I hope that Kavanaugh is innocent, and, you know, I have to say this, honestly. I had no idea who this Kavanaugh guy was before this, and I probably will not follow him after this. Even if he is innocent or guilty, I will not acknowledge who he is, because honestly, I don't really care about politics that much. I mean, I am what you would call very ignorant when it comes to politics. So, with all of that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. This is part 1 of this special video. Now, I will be back Monday with this whole outcome if the Democrats, unless the Democrats decide to finally cooperate. Hopefully, I will be back Monday talking about this, the outcome, and everything that happened. So, with that being said, I hope you all enjoy. And I gotta admit, while I'm still talking, I have to admit that whatever you want to call it, that hearing or meeting, whatever it was very funny at times, I have to admit. I mean, for example, the one guy, I forget his name, he's the South Carolina representative or whatever. I think it's Graham, if I'm not mistaken, but the way he stood up for this guy, the way that he actually said, he basically told off all the Democrats. He told them all where they could all shove it, like in a not so nasty way, but more of a political way. And, you need guys like that to stick up for your own people, so to speak. I mean, nobody in that courtroom, or, well, not courtroom, but nobody in that building, whatever you call it, the Senate, I guess that's what it is. I am illiterate, I am ignorant when it comes to politics, but you need more people like that will stand up for people. So, with that being said, congratulations to Graham from South Carolina, whatever his first name is. And I hope that, I think it's South Carolina anyway. Again, here it goes with the ignorance of politics. But, with that being said, I will be back Monday talking about hopefully the outcome. And I thank you all for joining me. And goodbye, everybody.